live. Welcome to the Best in Slot podcast, a Warcraft podcast by the community for the community. I'm your main host, Sparty, and I'm here with my co-host, Midgette. This is episode 29, and today we'll be talking about something very dear to my heart, something I'm very passionate about, Guild Survivor. But hello, Midgette, how are you today?
I'm doing great. It's a nice Sunday. We're starting a little early today. It's sort of nice.
That's good, yeah. Nice and early.
I go back to farming hunter pets since we started early.
Oh, hunter pets.
Yes, I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning getting rare hunter pets.
You were collecting hunter pets at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yes. It's very important.
You know what I was doing at 3 a.m. in the morning?
You were sleeping.
Definitely sleeping. Yeah, definitely over collecting hunter pets. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't have a little one that gets up anymore, so I can stay up and then sleep in a little bit.
Well, I'm excited for today's episode, and I got some rest, so we'll be good. I'm ready and raring to go for this one. But are you ready for the first part? One of the best parts of this podcast?
If I must.
All right, so to start off this fantastic podcast, we're going to go with Sparty's dad joke of the week. Hopefully, hold on to your pants, guys, for this one. All right, ready, midgets?
I'm ready.
When I was little, my dad used to feed me alphabet soup, claiming that I loved it. I didn't really. He was just putting words in my mouth.
that one's...
Isn't that perfect? Oh, wait. I just realized. My next bowel movement could spell disaster.
That you stole from Moonfax.
It is rightfully liberated from Moonfax, one of the guildies. I steal his best jokes, and now they are mine. Perfect.
I have a present for you.
What is it?
Well, it may be perfect for this podcast topic. He did really well. Hold on. Our favorite graphics guy, or our second favorite graphics guy, came up with our Guild Survivor roster.
Oh, this is exciting.
Sitting in my mail.
This is exciting. Really? Like now during the podcast? Should we start over?
Yes.
No, we're going to keep going. Well, we can just maybe link it and
we'll
take a look at it.
You can talk while I upload it, and then you can decide if you want to share it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm good at talking, so you do your thing, and I will talk away. So what's new in the community, friends? We have our favorite MDIs, our favorite bag of sleuths coming back to host these MDIs. I'm excited. June 22nd, which is great because next couple of weeks going to be crazy busy for me. But I'm excited to watch this thing. Like this is it. This is going to be some crazy stuff. The finals begin on June 22nd. They're going even higher affixes. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. They've announced new rules and exhibition, all that other fun stuff. So it's going to be great. I'm excited for it. Are you going to be up until 3 a.m. watching the MDIs?
Probably.
Well, you should be.
Because I really enjoy the MDIs. They're a lot of fun, and especially the last push where we've got the best of the best all competing. I don't know. I haven't decided who I'm going to be rooting for. I think I'll have to wait until I see how they all play. But I do have a special fondness for Miss Miggy's Aussie teams.
Yeah, you know what?
That new picture.
I completely agree. Of all the teams, the EU, the North American teams, the Asian teams, I want the Australian teams to win. They're still my number one favorites. Despite, me liking the Method teams and me rooting for North America, I want Australia to win because they need to. After surviving in Australia for as long as they've been alive with all the things that could kill them, to compete in MDIs and to go that far, that's incredible. It's like a Toronto Maple Leafs winning Stanley Cup. Like, it's crazy. You got to root for the underdog every time.
Well, and they did so well. Plus, I love their names. Free Marcy is just awesome. So it's definitely one of those things. Go check your WhatsApp because you're gonna love that graphic.
Oh yeah, I've loaded it in here. That's fantastic. So we have beta news. There's more beta keys. I still need to finish out giving away the first little round of keys here, hopefully tonight. But we've been given more keys thanks to Blizz. I don't know. I enjoyed giving them away. I enjoyed doing fun stuff, coaxing the community to do that. I know other content creators don't agree with my method of doing this, but this is the way that Blizzard has now wanted to do things, which is great. Rather than just follow, retweet, whatever. It's you got to do something. You got to take a screenshot with someone. You got to do something in game, play hide and seek, win a war game. You got to do whatever in order to earn these keys. And Yeah, part of it's been downplayed a bit because there's been so many beta invites, and the hype hasn't been as high as it was over Legion. But it's still really cool to be giving away beta keys, and we're really grateful and humbled that Blizzard wants to give us more keys to give away. It's awesome.
Well, we're going to have some great features that we're going to do with them. If we ever get past the, we don't want to do trivia. So,
Well, trivia, the first person wins, and that's it, right? But if they have to go to a secret location and find it, well, they have to put in the effort. They can't just like, oh, well, what was the last person that responded? I'm just gonna go with their answer.
I suppose, but we do have a new BIS beta key contest coming.
We do.
So.
And our most recent one, there was a good meme. The basketball thing where, again, I don't follow basketball, but the guy ran the wrong way instead of passing it to LeBron. LeBron was very unhappy. And so people have been. I was doing Dungeons and Dragons last night, and Ravaged Hobo, one of our guildies, he photoshopped my face onto LeBron here, and I'm sure this would be a selection of high quality memes going forward for rating because that's fantastic. That was so well done. So thank you, Ravage Hobo.
I can't wait. Let me go look at it because I didn't see it. I was busy doing some other things.
I'll look at the second one here.
And it's with you singing too.
Not singing. I was talking into a microphone during BlizzCon.
No,
and there was one with
Lockhart changed it to you singing. Remember?
No.
Oh,
yes, I remember now.
Yes. Meme of him doing it.
Fantastic.
Yes, there you have it. I can see that. Why did you wipe? Why did you miss this?
Why can't you, do mechanic properly after 100 million times? This would be perfect. It's a great bit material there. But yeah, we do have our roster here, which is fantastic. I'm going to link it here in chat as well. This is exciting. We'll give people a bit of a preview for this one. Sparty's in his solid black attire. This is great. Let's look at here. Here you go, guys. There's the roster up there. Special thanks to Midgette's friend and Photoshop expert. Everything they did done for this guild server. It's awesome. Like it's fantastic. Oh, it's wrong actually. Because the ZTH tabard is incorrect. The banner top right.
Is it wrong?
Yeah, look at it.
He used the same one I think from last year.
No.
Or did he use our new logo? I'll bet he used.
Oh, that's what he used. The new logo and not the actual.
Yeah, not the actual tabard. He overdid himself.
That's right. He overdid himself. Close. That's fine. We'll take it. It works.
I sort of like it with the new logo.
Yeah, we should bring that into Warcraft.
Yes, we should.
I like it.
Hey, I like the change. I'm good with it. Creative, what is it? Artistic
license with
Yes. He made his own tabard.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
So moving on to that, we have raid testing. So Uldir testing for those of you that are, not working or have the luxury of taking the time off. It's been raid.
Well, that was this weekend.
Oh, that's right. That was this past weekend, June 1st, and then we had Raid Finder over the weekend. Busy weekend on my end with working with a lot of Olympians, but this I don't know. I missed it. Raid Finder. I guess there'll be more. I'm sure there'll be more normal raid testing they're going to leave over the weekend. I'm not too worried about missing too much of it. I'm sure we'll have plenty of content for things like Coach's Corner and some of our other boss videos.
Right, and we'll have those upcoming as they get a little bit more out there and you start testing as a team.
Yeah,
and the
sure.
raid finders, and they'll start having more of the weekend testing. So it's good signs to see it on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the guild and community UI updates though?
Yeah, I did. And again, I'm gonna link it here on Wowhead for those of you that are in channel as well. These were okay. I'm honestly very disappointed with communities. It could have been a lot better, and it's fine. It's like the Diablo communities. It's just another channel that you can do whatever. It doesn't seem too incredible. There's different ranks and notes and things like that, and it's trying to be different channels, and it's trying to not. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I thought there'd be more. I thought there'd be more substance to it than than what it is right now. But maybe I was just expecting too much. I don't know.
Well, I'm sort of I think that perhaps the guild and the community UIs are sort of like the um, backpack. They're built under all of this code, and so if you'd be really careful not to break 1,000 things just to add 4 more slots. I
Mm-hmm.
think we just got 4 more slots, though. That was sort of my thought on it.
Yeah, and I remember I asked in the question of, well, these communities, can they go Horde and Alliance across faction? And the clear answer was no, they cannot, right? So here in, let's say, the Wildwood community or whatever community you're doing for your respective, class or SimC, whatever, it is only faction based, right? I'm pretty sure it is not cross faction, at least unless they've changed something.
I don't think so, and I don't expect them to change that
Yeah.
because part of Warcraft is the Horde fighting the Alliance. And even though we have Horde and Alliance friends, we still have to, when we go out on the battlefield, we can't talk to each other. But we can still make, isn't it KEK means LOL?
Yeah,
Isn't
Keka, we can
that
always
how
just,
they?
flip
Yeah,
him bird.
yeah. So we can at least get our point across.
This is true. So what we're seeing more stuff coming out of beta. So more pet mount hunter pet models for those of you that are hunters.
Well, yeah, and so what's really nice, and there's some really great sites out there that will cover it far better than us. And I'm going to highlight a couple of them. Wow Petopia is for the hunter pets that shows all the new models coming out, and there's some I'm really excited for. And then warcraftpets.com is my battle pet source, and they sit there and they show all of the new pictures and where they're coming and what pet. You did see they have, however, the Fabergé egg, and there's going to be a pet for, he won't even talk to you unless you have 1,000,000 gold.
Interesting. Do you want to know my pet source? It's midgets.
Midgets.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't bother with websites. I say, midgets, I'm missing this one for an achievement. Can I borrow it, please? I'll give it right back.
Now, as far as the Mount Wild site, I'm not a big mount collector, and maybe there's a better site out there. I didn't find one, but they did finally, and I would love if there is a Warcraft Mounts. Warcraft Mounts hasn't been updated for a while, so
Mm-hmm.
that's where I went first. If there is a website, would love to see it. But they did announce that they're going with, or they did show the 400 or the 350 mount achievement and the 400 mount achievement. And I'm not a mount collector, but I have to say so many of the mounts just seem to be real recolors. I was sort of really disappointed. What do our mount collectors think?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the mount collectors can chime in there in chat. I wasn't too impressed with some of these mounts. Yeah, some of them are cool and new, and the ones that are more, I guess, BFA focused are fine. And yeah, okay, there's more horses. But things, I don't know, some of my favorite mounts are the ones that they put a ton of effort and likely time and money into, like the Alliance ship, right? The one we got for last BlizzCon. Like, that's one of my favorite mounts by far. It's so well done. It's a little crappy when it's landing on the ground because you don't exactly know where it's landing, but it is one of the best well done mounts. That, and I'm hoping to get the Mythic Argus mount soon. We'll see.
Well, that thing's ugly. I don't know why anybody wants that thing. That's
It's ugly and it's hideous. And
it's hideous.
It's the best many-headed doggo.
If I could name my mount, I'll call it Jake from State Farm. There you have it.
I don't get this reference.
Haven't you ever heard the commercial, Jake with State Farm? He calls in the middle of the night, and the wife picks up the phone and goes, "She sounds hideous," because she thought it was a girl. Anyway, you would have
No,
this
I definitely
commercial.
haven't. I'm living under a rock, clearly.
Clearly. Well, there is Christy Golden. She's come out with the new series, and it's Before the Storm. They have an excerpt on the WoW Warcraft forums.
Uh-huh.
Her book comes out available June 12th, and that excerpt has also already becoming the work of memes everywhere. I'm starting to see them pop up.
Oh, the letter thing. That's where it's from. Yeah, I mean,
that's where it's from.
I know there's a lot of spoilers for this thing, and I haven't read it yet. So I think June 12th, I'll load it up into my Kindle and read it at some point. Yeah, I don't know if I want to get the hard copy and wait for it. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it. but I'm definitely
You'll
going to read
think
it.
about
I
it.
definitely want to
I
hear the
don't know.
story.
Those might be worth having hard copy because some of the early books that she did are hard to come by.
Yeah, and some more feedback in terms of the mounts here. Raru said, the engineering helicopters were pretty awesome. A lot of time went into those. Ramen Noodle says there hasn't been a must-have mount for him besides the Gul'dan mount. Okay, that's pretty cool too. But yeah, I mean, and Epikila says, the parrots and the bees and like there's a lot of really cool new colorful mounts too, right? And that's something we're excited for. But like the ones that are coming out of the just 350, 400 mount collection, it's not something too special. It's just another mount, right? Like it's just a
Yeah.
reskinned Gul'dan mount, whatever it is.
Well, and
So
that's the thing. For the achievement mounts, I would like to see them put that kind of work into
yeah,
them.
yeah, no, I agree.
So I was sort of disappointed, but you know,
Yeah, I
we'll
think when
see.
it comes,
I'm definitely looking. Trust me, I will have the one. I'm definitely going to have is the auction house one.
oh, of
I will
course you
have
are.
that as soon as
Giant dinosaur
as
mount,
soon as I can get to it. I'm buying that mount.
little gnome
I'm
stomping
already
around on her
saved up
dinosaur.
for it.
Yeah, I
Now
mean,
that man's cool.
in
And I
terms of
wonder if, as a gnome, mine's going to be bigger than everybody else's. That's the best part of being
that's
gnome is that
that's
our
exactly right.
mounts are
It's be a
bigger.
bigger Brontosaurus. But I think a lot of these reskinned mounts, I mean, when you do reskins, it's fine if they're just a random drop off a rare, right? Like the ones they did in Argus, that's fine. Just do the same mount, whatever dog it is, and recolor it. That's fine. Reskin it, doesn't matter. But some of the really special ones, the 400 mounts ones, they should be really, really cool, I think, especially for those mount collectors, because they put in a lot of effort and time and, obviously RNG farming those mounts.
Well, and especially on a busy server, and it's interesting because with the CRZ and the phasing, it's not like you have it easy if you're on a small population server too, because a lot of times you don't. And some of these mounts, I mean, there's people still trying really hard to get the mounts from Mists of Pandaria and as well as the Time Lost Protodrake.
Mm.
And so, you know, those mounts need to, I think the achievement mount should be special because to get to 400 mounts, you're doing a lot of things. And I remember when I got my first mount set, and even some of the further ones, they were really cool, but a lot of them are just recolors. So it's sort of disappointing. We'll tell Blizz and see what they say, huh?
Yeah, well, we'll see, what kind of feedback we can give them on mounts and recolors.
Now this one, this next stuff, you were pretty interested in this Warcraft movie prop.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, the Warcraft movie prop was really cool. It was cool to see, what they were gonna sell off or auction off, and what was being used. And it's cool that some of the stuff was used by the actors. Well, like the King Lane's armor and like the swords and the ring went for a lot, and some really cool lore pieces went for a lot. The first day, I thought they're gonna stay around $1,000, $1,500, whatever for some of the higher end stuff. $40,000 for these props and costume, like that's just insane. You know what I was doing the first day? I was bookmarking and favoriting. Okay, this suit of armor that'll fit me, right? That fits my pant size, my chest size. I could wear this suit of armor for Halloween. I would be the most badass dad on the block every single Halloween. I told my wife, I'm like, listen, if it's only going to go for $400, whatever, I'm buying it. That's an investment. And they sold for like $15,000 American plus like 23% prop store tax plus shipping and that's just crazy. Like there's no way. There is no way anybody can afford this stuff.
That's a lot of money, but they were very cool.
They were very, very cool.
Wonder what that means for future movies.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. The answers that what's his name Duncan Jones had regarding part 2, he wasn't too happy and too enthused about part 2 for whatever reason.
Well, I enjoyed the movie.
Oh, for sure.
And I enjoyed the experience. It was fun to live through. So we're back to our Wowhead guides. They had a good one this week. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so this is something that honestly should have been done a long, long time ago, but kudos to Wowhead for getting this guide together. They've got a great Wowhead Discord guide that gives you really, how to use Discord, what is Discord, all that stuff. So for players that are very new to the game or coming back to the game and everyone's using Discord now, well, what the hell is this thing? It's a full, you could be a not very smart person, I'm going to say that, and understand how to use it by following this guide. And, the great part about this too is It shows you Discord rules and proper etiquette, and what a lot of the Discord regulars, complain about. And when we had some of the Discord admins on our podcast, well, like a lot of it was just, well, read the pins, read the FAQs, all that stuff. And because the same questions are being asked over and over, because a new person's coming in asking the same question they don't know, because they're new and it's a whole new system to them, right? And they're not trying to be rude or not necessarily lazy, but well, here's a really good guide for going through that step. And I mean, we could definitely build more upon this, but this is a great intro guide to Warcraft Discord service community, and it gives you a link to all the different or most of the community Discords. I mean, it's got the different class ones, different community ones from Wowhead achievements, Ask Mr. Robot, the lead boss mods. It's got Towlees on here as well, Hammer Squad, Raider IO, PvP, weak auras, the secrets one, all that stuff is on here. So it's fantastic. Kudos to Wowhead for putting this together.
Yeah, it's a great guide. And I'll be curious to see, because I think Blizzard's end game is going to be what they're trying to do in the communities is sort of create the ability to have Discords in game. I don't know if they're not a little late to the scene, but because the community as a whole, for the most part at this point, is on Discord. However, back in the day, we were on Vent? So
yeah, well, years ago we were on Ventrilo, and that had latency issues, and people used TeamSpeak, and then we went to Mumble, which is generally the superior audio client, and then Discord got their stuff together, and now Discord's generally one of the better ones, partly because it's free as well. And of course, Blizzard had their own audio set up, and now they're back to it. I don't know if anyone uses it. Can I get a show of hands if anybody has actually used the Blizzard audio or the in-game voice at all?
I'm scared of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's new and different, and you gotta test settings, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, the biggest problem is when you're really using it, you don't have time. So if this is working, and just making the transition from Mumble to Discord, those first few raid nights were fun. And so it's change, especially when you're trying to move an entire guild or entire team over.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. So the feedback on our chat is, one couldn't tell you how to use it. Some didn't know there actually existed. Others used it once for Arena. So a couple people have used it, but nowhere close to, I guess, the ease that people have used with Discord and things like that. So we'll see.
Well, if you build it, they will follow. You'll see, they will come.
Well, here's hoping.
Well, here's hoping. So what else are we talking about? So Mythic Plus, we should have moved this one up to the MDIs when we were talking about the MDIs. But Blizzard put out a call, and they have a forum post looking for Mythic Plus feedback from Legion. And they've had some really good discussion on there, and I hope all of our Mythic Plus and MDI lovers go in and add their feedbacks, whether it was buggy instances or affixes that didn't work, or they're asking for the feedback. Give it. And Sparty just linked that in the chat, but you can find it in the Blizzard news.
Yeah, the thread was actually really well done. Yithian's, I never know how to pronounce his name. He's a good guy. He's also a paladin. Good thread by him, just starting it. What feedback do they have? People are generally really positive about Mythic Plus, one of the best features of Legion, probably the best feature by far of Legion. That's going to continue on, and they're going to continue to improve upon. But the thread is really good. It has some really good feedback on it so far, some criticisms, some potential changes, and it's really, more ideas. And I know, they get their own feedback from their own internal team and the higher end players, but as a community, right, you do need to listen to and respond to, a lot of the vocal minority or majority, or people that really care about those things, right? The people that are going to complain are the ones that care about it too. So it's great to have a feedback thread that's, doing really well and isn't, crapping on this or that, or, when's Classic coming out kind of thing.
Right. Well, hey, while we're talking about things that you get nagged about, because Classic's one of them, you do need to still go get, and sort of about mounts too, you still need to go get your Darkmoon Fair mount, and this week is the week to do it. So you need to get those. Sev would be very disappointed in you if you don't make use of his little quests.
100% I will. Yeah, so those of you that are using the, I need to collect my Darkmoon Fair stuff, but I'm getting those Darkmoon Fair things where you turn them in for the blimp. Slowly but surely, I'd like to get it, done before Legion, because it is a pretty cool mount, and, there's not many mounts I collect or really want to make the time for, but that's definitely one. And I've had guildies help me out, Severus, with this document fair amount. So yes, help Sparty get it done.
Well, and you can help your guild banks too, because it seems like those versatility fish feasts are in demand these days. Now that progression is starting to die down and people are into farm, they want the fish feasts.
And why is that? Why do they want the fish feasts?
I don't know. All I know is I've got to go fishing this weekend because both Death Jesters and Wobble Gobble want those fish feasts.
Yeah, I mean, we can use either ones. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when it's on farm, go for the cheaper option, potentially. Progression, you can make the same argument for, you choose the cheaper one. That being said, if you're a really, really high-end guild with tens of millions of gold in the guild bank, you'll pay for what is best, when you're getting closer to a kill. So, yeah, I mean, more versatility fish feast. It's damage increased, consistent, damage decreased, or damage reduced on the players, consistent as well. So you can really plug those numbers out.
Well, you know what we can do? Since we have 20 people tomorrow, we can just, instead of doing Survivor, we'll just have a fishing party and go to the Dark Moon Fair.
We used to do that. We used to have guild fishing parties. Like, from a mythic rating standpoint, we used to, in Wrath, go fishing as a guild. We'd have an off night or even cut the raid short of, hey guys, we need to get this achievement done so we can get our fish for whatever reason and go get the little blood fishing and Borean Tundra thing done.
Well, and just so you guys know, for the people that are out there trying to make gold, the Dark Moon Fair fish that is used for those fish feasts are going 50 gold to 100 gold each when the Dark Moon Fair isn't out.
So what you're saying is that people, while listening to this podcast or live right now, should go fishing in Dark Moon Fair to make gold?
Yes.
Good gold making tips from Midgets. Do what she does, and you too can afford a crazy Brontosaurus mount, 5 million gold, like she does.
Absolutely, and that would be a good way to save up because I was shocked. Don't put them on the auction house while the Dark Moon Fair is out there. You wait until the week right before the Dark Moon Fair is out.
Yeah.
So you have to have a little storage space.
Exactly.
So there's your tip. All right. Well, hey, speaking of Guild Survivor, isn't that what we're talking about tonight?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Guild Survivor. I wonder if I have one of these intros queued up ready to go for you guys. Let me see. I'm going to try to play one here, and hopefully it works. Let's see. Oh, I'm so excited for Guild Survivor. So, Guild Survivor, what is it? If you've seen the TV show, you know exactly what Survivor is, but it is essentially 2 guilds, 2 tribes, 1 sole survivor. Essentially, it's Death Jesters versus Zeros to Heroes as starting tribes. We have 10 people that have signed up and committed to 2 months of Survivor. As much as I want to throw these guys out on an island for 2 months with very little food and stuff, it's a once a week kind of thing. We're doing a number of different activities throughout the different weeks. Every Monday they'll be doing different competitions, those kinds of things, and voting somebody out. And at the end there'll be 1 person left with a massive, massive prize. We're still
we're still deciding the prizes. And with Best in Slot, we're going to add a new feature. What's that new feature?
Oh yes, the Best in Slot feature. Yes, so we're going to be recapping part of Guild Survivor. So because it's such a huge staple of the stream and something that we're really passionate about, we'll be adding a segment to Guild Survivor, to Best in Slot regarding Guild Survivor, what happened the previous week, drama behind the scenes, and we'll be doing exit interviews with participants that were voted out. So expect some new guests every single week now for Best in Slot. It'll be a really, really good one. So it's exciting. It's super, super well done.
And that is going to be fun because we're going to get to hear about the behind the scenes and all of the drama and why they shouldn't have been voted off. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's talk about Survivor because we've had a lot of fun with this. This will be Survivor season 3. And they're a lot of work. And we're behind on that, just so you know.
Oh my God, how much work. It's crazy amounts of work. But anyway, to start off, I mean, it's basically a live Warcraft version of Survivor with all the different events, the immunity challenge, tribal councils, hidden idols, backstabbing that you love from the game. It doesn't have as much of, I guess, the drama and following people around because they have, hundreds and thousands of hours of tape, whereas I've got an hour every single week to fit everything in, and it has to be live. But the tribes compete in various challenges that they may not normally see in Warcraft. So we try to incorporate some of the really cool things you see in Survivor, some of the balancing challenges, endurance challenges, whatever. We try to put those into Warcraft. For instance, rather than just running a mythic race or a raid race or PvP war game, we'll do things like sled races where you race your teammate across some obstacles, or you'll do a scavenger hunt, or you'll do a tightrope race. So there's a lot. There's a lot going into it. And in terms of prizes, our first season was, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. The prize was 100,000 gold. The second season, which was the Hellfire Citadel season, that prize was 1 million gold. So obviously we need to increase the ante here, right? I mean, it only makes sense. Like, midgets should buy the Soul Survivor a $5 million or 5 million gold mount. That's
I should, huh? How did I become responsible for paying for Survivor? We're gonna have to talk, Mr. Smallwood. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
No, but the funny part about the sled races is Tally didn't have a sled.
Oh my God. Who doesn't have a sled in this day and age? Right? Like, who doesn't go to Wintervale?
Sled?
It's not as if it's a one-day event. It's like a 2-week event. You just got to log in, log out, go to the Christmas tree, and just pick up your sled. So yeah, last time we did Survivor Season 2, Tally still did not have a sled. I'm not sure how. So
actually, in fairness, Sparty, Tally didn't have midgets nagging him to go get the sled.
That's what he needs, a midget.
Because you wouldn't have had one either.
Oh man.
But we've had a lot of fun, and we're always looking for new ideas. We actually got a really good idea. Do you want to talk about it a little bit that we got from a viewer not long ago? Because we tested it on stream, and we might as well get it out there, because I think we're going to do some fun things with it, and we'll probably do some different things with it. But why don't you talk about the fish?
Yeah, so we obviously try to make new events, and we test different ones, and a lot goes into the actual events themselves and the prep work. And we've got myself and Midgets doing a brunt of the work. We have Ariana, who does quite a bit as well in terms of testing and riddles and fun stuff like that. Was a huge support to us in previous seasons. We have a lot of players just coming to test games, and they just do it for fun. But we want to make sure the games are pretty balanced. And one of our viewers, was it Ararius? I can't remember who it was. Basically said, hey, why don't you just try, the fish soccer? I'm like, what is fish soccer? So in High Mountain, there's a fish that you're able to drop down. If you guys remember doing the quest by the stream, you kick the fish into the stream. Well, eventually you get a toy. I can't remember how we get a toy now, but you can drop this toy down and anybody can kick it, which is awesome. So combining this kicking fish, which we're going to call a soccer ball, along with the, serpent area, the jade serpent area, the flying serpents. So the cloud serpents, yes.
Cloud serpents,
yeah, the cloud serpents. So there's toys there, or there's things you can buy there that are race flags and finish lines. Essentially, you set up 2 goalposts on opposite side. You put 2 different teams, a fish in the middle that you can kick around. People have to kick the fish to the goalposts. Done. Amazing game. Super fun. Tested it 3 versus 3. Was awesome. My team was incredible.
We need to work on placement of goalposts, though. I think that was the biggest challenge.
That is,
was
yeah. Well, we might have to figure
down.
something else out, but I mean, again, it was so much fun. Was it safe and that suggested? I can't remember. But it was a super fun one. I loved it. It's a great one. We want to see more suggestions because, we only have the brain power of a few players, but if we really expand that to, to really everybody that is watching, our Best in Slot listeners, to the guild, just any kind of ideas, right? Like, hey, well, would this idea be fun? Just give me an idea. We'll try to work it out. And as Midgets knows, it's awesome to have really good ideas, but it's the how, right? Because there's a lot of difficulties in these events where you don't want to give the Mythic Raiders too much of an advantage. And I say Mythic Raiders when I mean Death Jesters. So a lot of the Death Jesters team is, cutting edge team, they're really solid players, really well geared. And you want to make challenges that there's not really a gear advantage. Otherwise, they're just going to destroy a lot of the Zeros to Heroes players.
Well, a few years ago, it was more unbalanced there. I would say with Zeros to Heroes being around longer.
Yeah.
We're going to start our smack talking now. I'm just telling you, Mr. Smallwood. We have a lot of they've, Wobble Gobble guys on there and Nomies and all of our teams, and they're used to playing together. So it's not quite as unbalanced as it used to be.
Yeah, this is true.
Fact, you want to have a side bet on which team's going to win?
Oh, the host shouldn't bet. That would be a huge conflict of interest.
And yes, when Kim helped us test, he was the MVP. I think that's the reason Sparty's team won.
Well, maybe Kib was pretty solid though. But yeah, like again, it's trying to find these challenges that are going to be fun and aren't just the typical, raid race. Like we've done Nax races and we've done dungeon races and we've done those kinds of things, and PvP. But we want to make it fun and special. And how can you change things around, right? So yeah, the guilds could do a war game or they could do whatever, but let's make it more interesting for them. Let's throw some, some more wrenches into this. So it's I don't know.
Well, and our biggest challenge these days is so many of the things that we could do have been broken by phasing. So
phasing.
we've tried to find workarounds for phasing. But the other thing is a lot of the mini games and things that have come out in the future X packs are more solo. So for example, I would love, and we're still going to try to see if we can, but the mail sorting game and the postmaster, I would love to see if we could do something with that, but it's not as group friendly. And then the other challenge we have is Sparty. Sparty's a challenge. He didn't want to go do Guild Survivor. It took me like 3 months to convince him.
Really? I don't remember this.
But you said you didn't. Oh, that wouldn't be fun. Look, you didn't like musical chairs at Concept. You didn't like what else did? Oh, the memory room. You even said so tonight. Oh, I didn't think that was going to be fun. I'm still trying to get you to do one where you start out with minimal or no gear and then gear as you go. And you just, I can't get you past that one. So I'm going to need some help with convincing Sparty that things will be fun.
Well, see, I like the story of me thinking of Guild Survivor, and like, the joke that I said at the start of the stream was totally mine, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that's the truth.
Oh, is that the story we're sticking with?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't have a great memory for these kind of things, but it's been fun now. It's been awesome. It's been a great legacy of this guilding community too, running this Guild Survivor, and people love it. People, we get hundreds of viewers just to turn into to the Survivor week and see what happens, who gets voted off, and that kind of stuff. So it's good.
We need more meme makers.
We do need more meme makers. That'd be awesome.
One of the things with the first Guild Survivor is we had Whammo.
Yeah,
and
Whammo.
He had all of these great graphics and trash talking and he really got us going.
Oh, the Galvin
we
memes,
need some more meme makers.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah, no, we have a lot of fun stuff coming up, and so the way that it's going to work, it is similar to what it's worked in previous years. So it'll be the two guilds, two different tribes. Eventually, there will be tribe switches and flips and back and forth, and there'll be two different tribes. There'll be a tribe merge at some point. Then they'll be doing individual immunities, and it'll be going from there. But it'll typically be an hour or so segment. 2 half-hour events, which will include the actual event, the voting portion, and then a transition to the next one. But yeah, it should be fun. 2 people will get voted off every single day. There's 20 to start. I can't go for 3 months of doing this event. Well, I think it's already going to go for 3 months based on how many people we have. We're going to try to, speed things up a little bit, but I want to make sure people do have fun. And with a lot of the activities, again, they have to be done live, right? Like, we'd have a lot more flexibility if we could do these events just through like YouTube. If it was an YouTube edited production, yeah, we could edit so much stuff in, people swimming around and doing whatever and pretending they're trash talking each other or backstabbing, and yeah, that'd be fun, right? And you could turn this into like a 5-hour episode, but we have a limited time segment. It's fun because it's also a live show, so you get people involved in the cheering aspect of it, right? Like, we get the stream viewers and the guild and everybody else cheering on their favorite players who they want to win. And you think
smack talking the others.
They totally do, right? There's a lot of trash talking, and when we go to tribal council, like, oh, there's a little bit of trash talking behind the scenes, and they're all whispering each other, and I know that stuff goes on. Unfortunately, that stuff is really hard to stream because I can't see everybody else's chat, right? Like, I don't see Alid trash talking Saphian here because he ate all the rice or whatever, or he's out there searching for immunity. I was like, we can't do that, unfortunately, on a live show. So we try to do the perspective of, well, these are really cool events and we're going to cheer them on and hope for the best. And they're really, really fun to watch too.
Well, I think when we add the exit interviews, so to speak, on Best in Slot, I think that's going to be fun. So we can have some fun with that.
Oh, for sure.
How do you make it fair though? And how do you take that? It's a major production. How do you make it fair for everybody?
It's tough. A lot of it is just through testing, right? You want to look at things like gear and item level and familiarity, and some of the stuff is not much of an issue, like you mentioned earlier, where initially in the first season of Guild Survivor, we had Death Jesters, which was a really strong mythic guild, and Zeros to Heroes, which is a fairly casual guild, and some of the higher PvE PvP challenges, the communication between Death Jesters was so strong that they were just trouncing Zeros to Heroes, and we had to go through tribe swaps and go through merges and that kind of stuff to really rebalance the teams constantly until the teams are a little bit more fair. But a lot of it is just it's balancing and it's testing, and it's a lot that goes into making sure that it's actually fun, where like, oh, we had a really cool idea and a really good plan, and we test and like, okay, well, this doesn't work, or okay, this phasing issue happens, or we were thinking of a musical chairs event earlier today, and we're like, okay, well, how can we stun these? How can we make it more challenging for musical chairs? What if they use a dazzling rod to stun each other, or somebody tries to stun them? Well, you can't, because as soon as you use a dazzling rod while you're sitting, it makes you stand up, and that's not going to work. So it's trying to figure out these different permutations of how this event works and what things are fun and what things are very Warcraft based. In this season of Guild Survivor, we want to do a lot of Legion centered activities. So we're saying saying goodbye to a lot of Legion things, saying hello to BFA, and that'll be the overall theme of this year's Guild Survivor. For those of you that are Survivor watchers, Ghost Island was a bit of a dud. But we do try to incorporate a lot of the fun stuff that we see on actual Survivor into the game in terms of swaps and idols and things like that. And, well, how do you find a hidden immunity idol? Well, we've done it in different seasons, different ways. And I'm sure we'll find a really clever way to do hidden immunity idols this way as well.
The one thing I can tell you, if there's a toy like a sled or the dazzling wand or the fish soccer, you probably ought to go get it if you're on our Survivor teams, because if we've found it, we'll use it.
Oh, for sure. And, we've done different things. I don't know. We've done a plethora of different activities between, dungeon runs, and we've done war games. And so those are just the standard, whatever. We try to make those fun, but we do other things that people may not have seen in Warcraft. So for those of you who remember in Throne of Thunder, for those of you that played, back then, there is the Jumping Pillars puzzle, where basically different sections are safe and other ones are not safe. If you jump on the not safe one, it knocks you off or kills you. And we've done different games that way. That's a really fun one. Right before Tordos, in Throne of Thunder, there is also the geysers. You actually get a water gun if you jump 250 times between each of these 6 or 7 geysers. So that's a really good one too. And so that's another fun one that we've done. We've done the tightrope challenge a couple times, which was super fun. We've done it drunk. So for those of you that remember in Howling Fjord, the Ancient Lift, there's a lift basically that has a huge rope, a really long tightrope, different little platforms that you have to jump across different obstacles, which makes it really fun. Lots of people die and fall off on this one. It's one that's had a lot of back and forths and unexpected wins from certain players.
Unexpected events. Well, and what's happened is because everybody goes and practices.
Yeah, now they go practice.
We have to find ways to make it more challenging. Oh, so you think you're going to... Oh, no, that's not what you're going to do this time.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we did riddles the first year, and then they saw me practice on stream or something once, and they figured out some of these riddles. So some of the teams would practice for hours, thinking what the event was. So we'll see what we're going to do now in terms of riddles and tripping things up a little bit. But we have a lot of new players in both Death Jesters and Zeros to Heroes, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue, right? We'll see. I mean, we have the Stormpeaks Mind Maze we've used in the past. And we've used different toys too, right? We want to incorporate toys or pets. We've done pet battles and transmog things. The Tonks and toys, dazzling rods, sleds, the fish soccer will be a new one as well. We've incorporated, different trivia aspects as well. So for those of you that are familiar with My Family Feud things, that one, that's also another really good one. Getting to know your players sort of trivia. We've done the memory room. So basically a memory room is we've taken players into a room. You have 2 minutes to look around everywhere in this room. Then we take you out of the room and say, hey, do you remember how many candles were in this room? What color were those drapes? What color was the rug, right? Like, how many chairs were there in this room? And that's the memory game, right? So those are different fun ones as well. Again, those things don't rely on your item level. Those are more individual challenges or team challenges. We've done scavenger hunts as well. So we have some other ones in mind, but we've done things like go find, X amount of this and find this from the town and go fish up this. That was a fun one. Different riddles, and we had Ariana the Riddle Master on the finale of season 1, which is really awesome, trying to solve different clues. What we also try to do is we try to utilize the holidays because they add another aspect of really fun. We've done the Easter egg one, so we can't use Easter eggs this time because they're not around. Otherwise, they were really, really good to use. We have the Summer Festival happening as well, so we'll try to use the different types of events and things we can do in the Summer Festival. So juggling torches, I can't remember what else they have. Dark Moon Fair is obviously going to happen during Guild Survivor, so we're going to try to incorporate some Dark Moon Fair events. So again, those things don't have that item level advantage, but players can practice, right? They don't know what event it's going to be, right? It could be, I don't know, a cannon race or a cannonball thing, right? Where you have one shot to land in the cannon or into the little circle. And that's what we've done in the past, right? There was one event, I think, in the first season where, okay, you get one shot to land as close as you can to the target, except the target wasn't the circle. The target was, a marker. It was actually on the dock, so you had to land on the dock and not somewhere else. So people couldn't practice landing into the circle, right? So we try to trick things up a little bit there, so people aren't practicing too much, and it's exciting and it's fun for them too.
Well, I can tell you one thing's for sure. If we can figure out a way to work it, when we are in BFA and we're doing our next Guild Survivor, that equestrian challenge is going to be in there somewhere. But until then, we need some ideas for Legion. And we'll probably intersperse, because people are saying in chat, well, I missed it all. Can I participate? No, the teams are already set, but we will be looking for some subs here and there. And I'll bet you on some nights, some of the easier challenges we might duplicate for the viewers.
Oh, for sure. One of the things that I like doing is I like testing these events here on stream. So we may do a tester like a Monday night or sometime this week. I've got lots of beta keys to give away, and so that's what I'll do. For instance, we tested a foam sword challenge the other day, and I'm like, okay, well, winners, here you go. BFA beta keys, right? We did the same thing with a number of different events, and that was fun. Dazzling Rod challenges, different areas, because it allows me to test things that work and don't work in different environments. So, for instance, we tried Dazzling Rods, little floating islands by Dalaran. We said, okay, well, this looks like a really cool area, the little fishing hut or whatever. Why don't we try Dazzling Rods here? Because there's water, there's obstacles, but we did find out that the balls actually get stuck in different aspects of the island, so we can't use the island. That being said, we still gave away beta keys because we had like 20 people come test the activity for us, right? So it's great to entice people to do those kinds of things and to help out.
Well, and I think we'll continue to grow it. But there's a lot of benefits to Guild Survivor. And just so you know, Sparty is evil and devious. Or is it Midgette's evil?
Maybe a little bit of both.
We come up with ways to make it a little harder or break up the teams or... you might have a present that isn't really a present. You never know.
This is true.
So there's always a new event on Guild Survivor.
Yeah, no.
But one of the benefits of Guild Survivor is what it does for the team and getting to know people and getting to know people outside of your team. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, now is the time where, okay, Legions come to an end and people are done with it. But at the same time, there's things you could be doing in and outside of the game. And we were talking about this just before the podcast where, this is the time where people are playing other games and, in our guild chat and Discord, people are saying, okay, well, what are the games you guys playing now that we're on a one-day clear, which is awesome, by the way. I should have mentioned that in our podcast at the start. We're down to, the one-night clear dream, which is fantastic. Many days off for everybody else. But, you give people the time off to, spend time with family or do other stuff. But what else can you do? Well, part of it is doing events like this to keep the team together. I've always been a strong proponent of, these kind of community events. Partly because it keeps your guild doing stuff, right? That is not just raiding and, sometimes getting annoyed at each other, but it is also really, really fun stuff. And it touches on, well, how do you get to know your players more, right? It's more chatting, it's more interactions. Whether it's, you've got some casual players on your team. I think we have a bit of a mix of players on both sides. So we've got some casual players and some raiders on both ends. and it's players that are on your team or may not be on your team, but you get to know them as well, and that's always a really fun aspect of it. And yeah, I mean, going into these kind of survivor events, you want to really promote that kind of community. And one of the big things that people have always said about Death Jesters and Zeros to Heroes is that community aspect. And yeah, I mean, for those of you prepping for Survivor, the best advice I could give you is watch the previous seasons. Some of the events might be coming back. Some events might be coming back in different variations. For instance, if you think tightrope is coming back, you might want to try to walk it backwards and drunk, or jump and do different things. Who knows? There'll be different permutations of these different events. But yeah, these kind of events really benefit the guild. It's again, if you're raiding guild, fine, but my guilds have thrived for so long because of the community aspect, because there's more to this game than just raiding or just PvP or just collecting hunter pets at 3 a.m. There's a lot more to do.
Well, and I know even for planning Survivor, Legion has kept us all busy. So, it's nice to be back to those one-day clears so everybody can take a break.
For sure.
I think everybody was sort of like, oh, good. Okay, I don't have to get AP. No more world quests. Okay, we're good. I can go do Arc or whatever I would normally do to just sort of relax. So I'm proud of the Death Jesters for their wonderful one-night clear. The dream is back.
Yeah, the dream is back, and it's good. I'm sure it's something we'll chat about in the next couple podcasts. But yeah, no, it's great. It's great to have the time off again. These Guild Survivor events were great back in Worlds of Draenor, where we had a lot more downtime for these kind of events, right? We had one-day clears for months, right? And we had time to do these kinds of things. Whereas in Legion, it was just go, go, go the entire time, not a lot of breaks, and we just kept on chugging through and kept on raiding. So yeah, it's great to have some time off to do fun events like Guild Survivor. But the big stuff is, we need help from the viewers, and this is a lot of work logistically for setting these things up. We need help from you guys to make this an awesome season of Survivor. We have a rough outline of what we're doing and when things are going to happen and what events we're going to do and what things are going to happen for sure. But we need more awesome ideas from you guys, and that's really our beta giveaway contest. I want you guys to email me or tweet me or Facebook me or whatever, a potential Guild Survivor challenge. So again, Survivor challenge, that would be fun. That would be great to watch live. That isn't just a war game or PvP or a dungeon race or whatever. I can work out the details with the team ourselves. But again, a great example was that fish one, right? You're using that fish to kick around, and you've got some 2 goalposts, and you have to kick it between the goalposts, and that was a fantastic one. So whether it incorporates PvE stuff or PvP or pet battles, or there's different variations of things, we want to hear those things. Send them to us. I'll give away beta keys. I got plenty to give away. I want you guys to get ready for BFA and say goodbye to Legion with us through watching Guild Survivor, and give us your ideas. I'll got plenty of beta keys to give away. Just toss them out at us, bestandslawpodcast@gmail.com, or message them to me in game, Facebook, tweet us, whatever it is. We want to hear it.
Well, and we're also getting together at the next Family Feud, so you can help us out by answering the Family Feud and being our survey.
Yeah, a lot of those surveys we use in future years. So yeah, participate on Twitter, on Facebook, in our Discord for those of you that Zeros to Heroes and DJs, best mounts, that kind of stuff, worst dungeons, best trash, worst trash, our Family Feud stuff, which has been fantastic so far. But yeah, Guild Survivor, it starts tomorrow. It's going to be epic and awesome. It'll start roughly 9:30 Eastern, I believe. It might start a little bit later. It'll run for about an hour, so expect to be done by 11 Eastern. It's Monday. It's time to relax with Guild Survivor. Have an awesome time. You're going to be joking around, laughing. It'll be awesome.
Well, and we won't have Tally without a sled, but I'm sure we'll have other bloopers throughout the...
Oh, 100%. I guarantee. Things are going to break, and... things are going to break all over the place. People are going to try to, cheat the contests, and that's, to be expected. So I'm excited for it. It's a lot of work, but it's also a huge payoff, and I'm really looking forward to it. So with that, we will say good night to all of our listeners, our viewers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to Best in Law Podcast. Again, email us your suggestions for Guild Survivor, bestinlawpodcast@gmail.com. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a good night. Be excellent to each other. And as always, live your life heroically. Have a fantastic evening.